Just take your time. Take your time. Watch this video. Watch this guy. He had the light of Africa. Just watch him with your spiritual eyes. Just think about what he's saying. You will see that a lot of truth is hidden in this boy. Just remove sentiment. Just watch this boy with your spiritual eye. You will understand what I'm talking about. Just watch him and tell me what you think in comment section. Just watch him closely. Thank you.
A time there was a deity in your village. The assignment of this deity is to make sure that anyone who stole what does not belong to him is mandated to return that thing back to the owner. And so all of a sudden, a man came with a Bible to your community and told you that this deity that mandates people who stole what doesn't belong to them is evil. And so you said, what was the reason? What made it an evil? He says it's because it is a sin. What reason? What made it a sin? He says it's because God says it's a sin. He didn't provide any reason of what made this thing, this deity, an evil demonic deity. And then he says, okay, we agree. What then is the new deity you are introducing to us? He says, we came with a new God. This God will actually forgive those who stole your properties. He will usher them forgiveness of sin. And so Africans accepted and burnt that deity whose assignment is to mandate that person, anybody who stole what doesn't belong to him returns it back, whereas retaining the deity that forgives sinners for stealing what does not belong to them. Once upon a time, there was a deity in your village. The assignment of this deity is to make sure that nobody drag your land. It ensures and respects land boundaries. And so that deity preserves the integrity of the ownership of land according to how it was shared in your community. And all of a sudden, a man came with a Bible and told you that that deity is an evil deity. You said, what made it an evil? He says, it is because it's a sin. It's a sin. What is the reason for making it a sin? He says, God says it. Let God be true and let all man be a liar. He says, okay, which deity, which God do you have for us now? He says, we came to you with a new God. This God offered forgiveness for those who will drag your land. And automatically, the court become a full place for land issues, because they knew once we take away that God that ensures there is no land dispute in the villages, automatically we are opening the chambers of business for the lawyers and the courts, so that at least the lawyers can be feeding. Once upon a time, there is a deity in your village. The assignment of this deity is to ensure that the life of the people is protected. It is ensured that any place you are going, you are covered like a new umbrella. It offers you protection. It empowers the boys to prepare themselves and fight and defend their land. This one doesn't fight for the people are equipped with the energy to defend and fight for their defense. A man came and says, no, that deity that actually empowers boys to go and fight and defend their land is an evil deity. We came to you with a new God. That God, leave vengeance for God. Vengeance belongs to God. God will fight your battle and you shall hold your peace. And automatically, they knew that if God wanted to fight your battle, God would have at least restricted battle from even starting at all. What God cannot prevent, God cannot solve. That God was waiting somewhere and somebody came and killed my father. And so when I need the empowerment to go and reiterate, to make sure that I defend my land, God says, no, IHEDI, don't fight that person that killed your father. Wait, vengeance belongs to me. So God wants an extinction of a lineage. Once upon a time, there was a deity in your village. Anytime a newborn baby is given birth to, maybe in form of a snake, maybe in form of a monkey, the snake will come into your compound, into that room, and rest upon the newborn baby. What it does is that it puts the newborn baby on a solid rock. This one was enshrined in your lineage according to your ancestral lineage. And so it preserves the lifespan of that child. Any place the child finds himself, he knows I have a place where I am covered with an umbrella that nothing can ever sabotage my existence easily. Somebody came and says, no, that God that actually comes to welcome a newborn baby is evil. We come to you with a new God. This God doesn't even come and we don't see it at all. But what we know that when we born a newborn baby, bring him to us, we will pour water upon him and we will baptize him and give him a new name. That is the only criteria the boy have. So today your son is walking like a fowl without any guarantee. The boy can die anywhere, anyhow. Once upon a time, there was a deity in your village. What that deity sponsors is that nobody wastes the blood of anybody. If you waste the blood of anybody, kill anybody in that community, that deity will automatically fight you till you die. Somebody came and says that God has preserved the wasting of blood is an evil demonic deity. But there is a new God we came to you about. This God actually forgave Cain when he killed his brother Abel. So even when your brother killed you, we already made available forgiveness in abundance for him. When we call Jesus Christ a criminal, we have proof. But when they called our idol evil, they have no proof. What they say is that it was a sin. It is a sin. Is it a reasonable explanation? What made it a sin? Sit down with a Christian. Come and sit here. Let two of us discuss so you can make me understand what made idol worshiping a sin. Because actually we don't worship idol. We commune with idol. We are one in this. It is technology of oneness. We neither bow down to anything. We don't worship. It is the collective mindset of our people. Our people says that the mind of the people is the mind of the what? The gods. So the community leaders assembled and agreed on this and planted their offer on it. It does not, there is no God anywhere who sponsors that results. No, it is the mindset of the people. So when we are talking about deity, we are talking about the collective mind of the people to institute governance backed up with spirituality among them, because the only insulator that will shield a black man from harming his fellow black man is only black man magic, only black man spiritual power. Once you take away that black man spiritual power that was built on the principle of consequences, you reintroduce a new God that was built on the principle of forgiveness, because you know that it is in the forgiveness that the business of the Western culture can be driven. There would, many of the police cases that are treated today would not have been treated if people are fearing consequences. But you destroy the God of the consequences, and then you went and built prison. All our prison today are full of our young boys who are captured in the crucible of forgiveness that have been made available to them by the criminal Jesus Christ. A nation that worship criminal will all be criminalities. Once upon a time, there was a deity in your village. It ensures that all married women are faithful to their husband. What it does, any married woman become afraid anytime he thinks about going outside to sleep. The loyalty of the woman is under their husband by force, by mandatory law of consequences. A man came and says, young man, that deity in your village that preserves the chastity of your wife, at least that ensures that all children that was born in your compound belong to you. He said that deity is evil. He says, what made it evil? He says, it's a sin. Young man, it's a sin. Is it a reason? What made it a sin? He says, God said it. Let God be true and let all man be a liar. He says, okay, we agree with you. Which other God did you come for? He says, I came with a God. This second God, what it will do, that it will help the reverend fathers and your pastors to bear your own children in your own house as a man. Feel pain with me reasonably. There are many African men today who are training the children that were giving birth to that were born in their family by their pastors. Because the Bible already know that once he comes with that law, it will make girls, women, to become, their loyalty will now be with their pastor instead of being with the husband. There was once a God in your village. It was not a God, it's the collective mind agreement of the people, because I know there is no God anywhere in the sky. There is no God anywhere that was God of everybody. No. The people agree and institute, with their collective mind, institute their spiritual system of guidance. I know there is no God, but we know there are forces that exist, which men agree to make manifest the result they want. The only black man insulator is his spirituality. Once upon a time, there was a deity in your village. That deity was built on the principle of Ofo. It was given to the hands of elders. When an elders come and they begin to have issue, these men gather and assemble. If they hold that Ofo, it mandates them to only speak truth. That is the type of leadership that was available in the days of your ancestors. What it preserves, that it makes sure that everybody that administers justice will never ever think about going to collect bribe. Because he already knows the consequences that was made available in that days. A man came and says, no, that's justice, that deity that was built on Ofo is an evil deity. He says, but we came to you with a new God. This God doesn't have Ofo. We will give you politicians, when they go and steal your money, if you complain, we will ask them that if you have not steal, be the first to throw a stone. We give you a politician, when you complain of their irresponsibility, they will tell you that don't judge so that you will not be judged. When we call Jesus Christ a criminal, we know he came to provide immunity for evil. He came to destroy the principle of consequences and give people freedom of all evil violations. Once upon a time, there was a God in your village. You that is listening to me this morning, you have went home to your village and burnt your father's shrine. That shrine that your ancestors planted in their compound, that made your ancestors to marry 3 women, and all of them remain under total submission and leadership of the man. You went out of your zealousness and burnt that shrine. Young man, you will suffer terribly in life until you go back and visit back. You will suffer terribly back until you go back and reinstitute that energy that governs the law in your home. Until you visit back, you will discover you will struggle all the days of your life without knowing what you do. This one is not any God in the sky. This one is the collective mind agreement of the people in your land that shelters their longevity and procreation. Somebody persuaded you to go and destroy it. I came with a light. This light comes in completeness of knowledge. With that is the difference between African Renaissance. In African Renaissance, our leaders in Communist Party of Africa will be enthroned with our authority system. So when they are acting on the principle of consequences. We don't even need to be there. The black man camera, CCTV camera, is our spiritual system. It showed us. When you come in every village in those days, you will see they say we don't kill this particular animal. Maybe in this river we don't kill fish in this river. Maybe we don't kill snake here. Maybe we don't kill monkey here. That is what the people in that village fears, that put upon them the consciousness that there is a force here who can actually pay you back for the evil you do, even when your eye is not seeing it. In my village in Oboka, when we are pursuing an animal and that animal runs to Anyo Fiene, you withdraw back. You will never go inside that bush to kill any animal that's entered Anyo Fiene. That thing will actually put the consciousness in the people that if there is a forest that can preserve the life of an animal, if I am to swear in the name of that prophet or do evil, that land that protects or common animal will kill me. Somebody came and says your own idol worshiping is evil. I want a Christian to come and sit down. Let us talk so that he can make me understand with reasonable facts what made idol worshiping an evil. That is my center of interest. Sit down, let us understand. But the problem is that a Christian have no understanding. Because Bible have already told them in Proverbs 3:5-6, it says, trust on the God with all your heart and lean not on your understanding. So all the things a Christian do is not built on understanding.